Africa. Dark, mysterious, and backward. For centuries, Africa was known as a dark black continent with ungovernable economies, making it hard to do business. For centuries, the only market to get anything was the black market, illegally and uncontrollable. For centuries, it was deemed non-profitable and dangerous. To us, Africa is the promise, and with it comes untapped opportunities and rich potential. Africa for us is the perfect market, where you can get anything you need, but safely and profitably. For us, Africa is blackmarket.co.za. Black Market is a marketplace. Black Market is a payment gateway. Black Market is a large-scale employer. Black Market is an SMME empowerment partner. Black Market is backed by a blockchain, making each transaction secure and safe. Black Market is safe and secure. It's a marketplace that aims to empower you. Black Market is bringing all traders, formal and informal, together on one online platform to trade, sell, buy, and interact. blackmarket.co.za. Africa's promise.
Hello, greetings everyone watching on United States of Africa. We are live on all our platforms, on LinkedIn Live, on a Twitter handle. And United States of Africa strongly condemns the systematic human rights abuses by Eswatini Kingdom. At least more than 30 people have been killed, and the Eswatini military has been attacking civilians that are protesting against the tyrannical rule of King of Eswatini, King Mswati, who has been in power since 1986. Women being assaulted and abused, children being killed, and men and women being slaughtered in broad daylight. The Eswatini government cut off the internet so that people do not report what exactly is happening. And the kind of images that I'm seeing from Swaziland are really disturbing. And yet the African Union has been silent about what is happening. We need to raise our voices and speak against the genocide that is ongoing in Swaziland, because we cannot allow this to continue happening on African soil. It doesn't matter whether he is a king or not. We have seen so many kings in Africa who have been very accountable to the people, who prioritized and put the interests of the people first. But the king of Swaziland actually does not care about the interests of the people. He only cares about personal nourishment and his own happiness at the expense of the entire nation. And this is not the kind of leadership that we want to see in Africa. We want to see accountable leaders, leaders that respect the human rights. The Swatini people have the right to determine their destiny, the right to decide whether they want this monarchy to come to an end or not, the right to decide whether they want democracy or not. And this is a right that the Swatini kingdom cannot deny the people in Eswatini. The civilians have to be granted the right to protest and express themselves freely without being murdered by their own government. What I'm seeing in Eswatini is completely failure of the only remaining monarchy that we have in Africa. If I was a king in Eswatini, probably the Eswatini people would be the happiest, because my first priority as a king would be to ensure that all civilians get access to equal health care. They get milk and honey every day. In the morning they wake up and live like royalty. But this is not what we are seeing in Eswatini. We are actually seeing a completely broken kingdom, which does not even care about the basic human rights of the civilians. And this kind of dictatorship should never be supported by anyone. We need to see more African leaders condemn the ongoing systematic violation of human rights, and encourage the people in Eswatini to express their full human rights, because they are not less humans. They don't have to be royalty to express their opinions and to express how they feel, how the system oppresses them. It looks like even after the independence, now Africa is run by tyrants who do not even care about human rights. And this is really worrying, because we are seeing a complete breakdown of values that held the kingdoms together. We as United States of Africa call to an end of the brutality against civilians by Eswatini military and the Eswatini police officers. We demand accountability from this kingdom. They have to listen to the people, because the voice of the people is the voice of God. If the people so decide that this monarchy has to come to an end, it indeed has to come to an end, because the king is not bigger than the people, is not bigger than the Eswatini people, and therefore he has to listen to what the people are saying. Even the colonizers, there came a time when they had to listen to what the African freedom fighters were saying, and they realized that their time was over. They had to hand over power to the Africans, and this is how Africans got independence. I'm not going to share the video clips that are coming out of Eswatini, because they're really disturbing. It shows a complete failure of the kingdom to provide the kind of leadership that we expect. They're saying the king completely fails. Africa will never unite ever. You're busy supporting dictators. I don't get your comment that I guess there's someone saying Eswatini lives matter. Indeed, they matter. And the only way to demonstrate that these lives matter is to rise and defend the lives of Africans, stand in solidarity with the Eswatini people, call out the regime in Eswatini that is completely undermining even the basic human right, the right to life. Even as Africans are confronted with the challenge of battling the raging pandemic, another pandemic that is ongoing is the human rights pandemic. And it has to come to an end, because this is not only in Eswatini. We are seeing the same thing in Ghana. Civilians protesting, being killed by security forces. It shows a complete disconnect between the people and the governments. The governments have to do better to protect the lives of civilians, to allow civilians the right to protest and to express their views without any fear of being intimidated. This is what the United States of Africa stands for. It stands for unity of Africa based on the Pan-Africanism principles, and unity of Africa based on the respect for human rights and respect for the voice of the people, for the right of the people to express themselves without being shot. I saw some of the clips of people being shot, being dragged from their homes and being shot dead by Eswatini security forces. I saw clips of Eswatini civilians being banned, and these are not the kind of images that we need to see coming out of Africa. We call upon the Eswatini government, the Prime Minister, and all these leaders in Eswatini to end these systematic human rights abuses and listen to the voice of the people. If it's time for change, there is no single person, be it a royalty, who can stop the wave of change. And therefore, the people have the right to be heard. There's someone, Mabongenia, saying there should be zero tolerance on dictatorship in Africa. Help Eswatini get rid of despots. Indeed, the stance of the United States of Africa does not tolerate any form of dictatorships in Africa. And we call upon Africans all over the world to stand in solidarity with Eswatini people, and to ensure that the ongoing human rights violations come to an end. We have to speak in a unified approach, apply more pressure on the kingdom to come to the realization that the interests of the people matter, and the lives of the Eswatini people matter. They count, they add up, and whatever they say is the law. The people are the law, and the king cannot exist without the people. So if there is a complete disconnect between the king and the people, it shows actually he doesn't even respect the people who gave him that power, and therefore the people have the right to take that power if they so wish, if they so desire. I support the people of Eswatini to express themselves and to decide what is good for them. Because after all, the Eswatini kingdom belongs to the Eswatini people, and we have to ensure that their rights are heard, their rights are respected, and their voices are also heard. Inaya saying that criminal Eswatini king needs to go. Indeed, if the Eswatini people decide the king has to go, he indeed has no choice. He has to listen to the people so that there can be a new leadership that respects human rights. And also, we need tolerant leadership that is open for different views. You're saying, Zama is saying, stop talking and act. People are dying like flies. So do something to save the innocent souls. Indeed, there's need for action to be taken. But as the United States of Africa knows, as you know, United States of Africa does not have a military, does not have the resources to take any action in terms of holding the African states accountable. We are still far from that becoming a federal state, which is a continuous process, a continuous struggle, and with the support of Africans in Africa and the support of the Africans in the diaspora, United States of Africa vision will be realized. And there'll come a time when it's going to be impossible for the African states to undermine the human rights of civilians, because the United States of Africa will be there to hold the federal states accountable. But we have to work very hard to make that happen. For now, we are pressuring the Eswatini kingdom to end the ongoing systematic human rights abuses, and we are calling upon the African Union to respond to the ongoing humanitarian crisis in Swaziland, hold the king accountable, because there is no African who's above the law. They have to respect and abide by the African Union Charter on Human Rights, And this is the time for Africans to demonstrate Pan-Africanism solidarity by rising against dictatorships, rising against leaders that do not care about the interests of the people. And I believe that Pan-Africanism is the only way to bring all these to an end, all these chaos to an end. Africa has to unite and have a common military, common voice. And as long as we don't have a common voice, we are going to continue experiencing all these chaos that we are seeing. And no one will be able to help because we are not united. We are disunited by the Berlin Conference boundaries. And this is the time for Pan-African solidarity, for Africans to unite and work towards the realization of United States of Africa, which will be very powerful to be able to intervene in African affairs and ensure that the lives of civilians are protected and also the rights of Africans are respected. Thank you very much for joining. You can share the broadcast, increase the awareness, and get involved in standing in solidarity with the Eswatini people, and add your voice, because your voice counts. The more people speak, the more we are likely to pressure the Eswatini regime to be more accountable and to bring to justice the military officers and the police officers that are responsible for the massacre against civilians. You can see a lot of comments coming in. The people are really disturbed by what is happening in Swaziland. Some saying it's long overdue. I guess you're saying the time for the kingdom is just coming to an end. So another one is saying Africa Unite, Eswatini. Indeed, since it's the only among the only remaining kingdom, then it has to be the best, such as to inspire the Africans to believe that the monarchy works. But if it doesn't work, then the people have the right to voice their opinions. He can keep the monarch, but the power must belong to the elected officials. This is why many African countries, they have the ceremonial monarchy, because of the kind of dictatorships in these monarchies. Many become very tyrant, and they ignore the human rights. Therefore, let us stand in solidarity with the Eswatini people. And thank you very much for joining this broadcast. You can follow us on United States of Africa. Keep on supporting our shows and get involved in the unification process of Africa.